and enjoyed the concert very much. And I got to speak with Mike a little bit after the show was done, and he invited me to perform at the series the next year. And I've been there nearly every year ever since. And Molly, thanks for having me here today. Molly, do you have a song to share with everybody?
Yes, I do. And before I do, I would just like to mention a couple additional housekeeping things. So the way that I set up the meeting, folks, was that everyone would be muted when they came on. And it seems like that might not have been working, or I'm not sure what's happened, but I would just love everybody to make sure that you are muted. That would be extremely helpful. I also have gotten a few notifications that folks feel like the sound is breaking up a little bit. Unfortunately, that often happens on Zoom with music. So I do not think that it's an issue necessarily with the internet, or with, certainly not an issue with Charlie's playing, but I think that sometimes the audio just isn't extraordinarily clear. So one friend made a suggestion that you might want to turn off your video, and that might help. So I would encourage you to do that if you would like. Unfortunately, we're also having a little trouble connecting to Facebook. There weren't too many more people than 100 who wanted to join, but right now I've started a recording so that we can post it to Facebook afterwards. So I apologize for that. I don't know why that's happened. But anyway, we will get the video up there so folks can see it afterwards. Okay, thank you for your patience with me. My name is Molly Hicks, as I had mentioned before, and what I'm going to share with you tonight is a song called Across the Great Divide. And this is a song by Kate Wolf, who is was a wonderful songwriter who died way too young. And she wrote many beautiful songs, including Give Yourself to Love. But this one is called Across the Great Divide, and to me it feels like a really appropriate song for the pandemic, for everything that we're facing in the world, for our struggle toward justice. And I think that's all I'll say about it. It will speak for itself. And thank you so much, Charlie, for encouraging and allowing me to share a song tonight. I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around and they've gone away. I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. They tell a story I used to know, and it was one that happened so long ago. It's gone away in yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Now I hear the owl a-calling softly as the night was falling, with a question, and I replied, but he's gone across the borderline. It's gone away in yesterday, and now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. The finest hour that I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day. It's when the darkness rolls away. It's gone away in yesterday. And now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Thank you.
Oh, that was beautiful, Molly. I love that song. You did it as well as any I've ever heard. That's really, really nice. I'm sure the folks that you get to sing for in these very strange times love to hear your voice and appreciate all that you have to offer.
Thank you.
Hey, so this guy behind me is Charles I, King Charles I, last Stuart monarch born in Scotland. And his son, Charles II, who was able to ascend to the throne after Cromwell finally died and the protectorate sort of fell apart and they were just cringing, hoping for a king again. He might have heard this next song that I'm going to sing for you. It was sung right around the time when he came back, but he probably didn't. This is more of a peasant song, but just to give you an idea of the time frame, second half of the 17th century, right around 1660 or so is when this song was first sung. You might have heard it around 1960 or so. Let me know if you remember it. Are you going, Scarborough Affair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to the one who lives there. She once was the true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Without any seam or needlework, then she'll be the true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Affair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to the one who lives there. She once was the true love of mine. Tell her to buy me an acre of land. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Between the salt waters and the sea strand, then she'll be a true love of mine. Are you going to Scarborough Affair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to the one who lives there. She once was the true love of mine. She once was the true love of mine. She once was the true love of mine. Beautiful old song called Scarborough Affair, or I saw someone else post parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. But I think a lot of folks on this call know me from the Scottish games that I've been playing at for about 25 years or so now. I'm lucky enough to get invited to a whole bunch of big ones, and really, of course, this year, there's only been one Scottish festival that actually went on that I was involved with, and that was the Great Covenanters Scottish Festival in Lancaster County. I live in Chester County, about an hour west of Philadelphia. Lancaster is one county west of me, so just over the county line. And they followed all the guidelines, a huge field, and they only allowed 200 people on. So there's plenty of room for everybody. And I'm very thankful that they continued with that festival. But one of the biggest ones in all the world is one up there in Loon Mountain. And I think Mark and Claire joined. I think I saw their names flash up. And they'll know this song. They'll know this song because of the great standing stone that was erected there at the Loon Mountain Ski Lodge area where the New Hampshire Highland Games have been held for nearly every year over the last 4 decades or so. And I'm usually singing near that standing stone. And when they unveiled that stone, might be 7 years ago, maybe 8 years ago now, time flies so quickly, they asked me to sing a song, to write a song in commemoration of that stone. And I got to thinking about it, and really, you know, it's more than just the music. It's more than just the bagpipes. It's a big family, is what this Celtic festival circuit is, really. The Scots, we all kind of meet each other. I know Mark and Claire moved down to, I think, North Carolina. But, you know, we all see each other from time to time. And hey there, Mark and Claire, I see you. So I love you both, and I miss you guys. So I'm going to sing this song for you. Gather in the shadows of New Hampshire's mountains grand, vines of a different time when our fathers left their land. Snow-capped peaks are towering high neath the Caledonian throne. As we meet today in brotherhood to bless this standing stone. To generations come and gone, we honor you this day. Tartans bright and cockcats white and dreams of far away. Memories lift our longing hearts across the ocean's foam. We mark this spot for Scotia now and bless this standing stone. In the shadows of the mountains, you remind of long ago. Caledonia, the land of our fathers, land of light, home away from home. In love for you alone, our standing stone. For many years we've gathered here at Loon, the Highland Games. The pipers, dancers, athletes too, and chieftains of great fame. Those who had so much to give as the celebrations grow. Avery beaten, Murray too, made way for the standing stone. In the shadows of the mountains, you remind of long ago. Caledonia, the land of our fathers, land of light, home away from home. In love for you alone, our standing stone. As the sun is setting now, and the moon's above the bend, the thunder of a masked band's fades to an echo in the glen. As the seasons come and pass, may our children's children know this monument to Swenson's ground, this mighty standing stone. In the shadows of the mountains, you remind of long ago. Caledonia, the land of our fathers, land of light, home away from home. In love for you alone, our standing stone. To old Scots glory shone, our standing stone. I see a lot of comments from folks from here and there. So glad you could all join us. And my love goes out to you as well. All those folks, especially that I know from the Great Blue Mountain Highland Games. And hopefully, when this is all over, all this, pandemic stuff, hopefully that'll be soon. I can get out there and see you all again. I really miss seeing you all. Thanks for giving me a reason to get out of my pajamas today and sing some songs for you. So Lois, I see your hand waving there. I see a blue hand. So I guess that means Lois Schifrin is on the call. And she's asked for this next song. And she mentioned that many years ago, it might be 25 years ago. Gosh, how old am I? Could be that long ago. I was on the Gene Shea Show in Philadelphia, one of the longest running folk shows in the country. Gene passed away from COVID, actually, several months ago. But he had me on the show several times throughout the years. And the first time that he had me on, I was kind of promoting a brand new, my first all original album at that time. I was about 30 years old. It was about 25 years ago. And I guess Lois heard me sing this song the first time she heard me. So that's why she's asked for it. So Lois, I'm going to sing this song for you. It's called Chesapeake Bay. It was on summer's morning rare as I rode out to wander along the strands of golden sands and down beside the water. And I found the fairest flower there, as fresh as a rose in May. And she looked so sweet, he had company as the tide rolled in along the Chesapeake Bay, along the Chesapeake Bay, where the sun it shines so clearly. Once there I met with a bonny, bonny lass, stole her heart along the Chesapeake Bay. Well, as I approached this lady kind, by what name are you called? She said, I'm told you're rather old, for I don't know you at all. And she touched her shawl so trimmed with lace, as white as the ocean spray. And she took my hand and said, young man, I'll walk with you along the Chesapeake Bay, along the Chesapeake Bay, where the sun it shines so clearly. Once there I met with a bonny, bonny lass, stole her heart along the Chesapeake Bay. Now as we rolled along the James, and the sun sunk in the west, where their eyes they shone like polished stone, just pulled from a pirate's chest. And she wrapped her dress right round her waist, saying, "Kiss me if you may." And I had her charmed as I rolled her in my arms, and the mist came in along the Chesapeake Bay, along the Chesapeake Bay, where the sun it shines so clearly. Once there I met with a bonny, bonny lass, stole her heart along the Chesapeake Bay. Well, says young man, will you marry me? For I am quite undone, and who will claim the Christian name if I should have a son? But I says I can't wed you, so be home on your way. For gone to be all the joy for me as I roll out along the Chesapeake Bay, along the Chesapeake Bay, where the sun it shines so clearly. Once there I met with a bonny, bonny lass, stole her heart along the Chesapeake Bay. Well, it's steak and ham when my stomach's bare, whiskey when I'm sober, walks in the sun where the river runs till my days are over. And for all you ladies dressed in white, see me and you may, and we'll walk through the evening dew as I rolls in along the Chesapeake Bay, along the Chesapeake Bay, where the sun it shines so clearly. Once there I met with a bonny, bonny lass, stole her heart along the Chesapeake Bay, along the Chesapeake Bay, where the sun it shines so clearly. Once there I met with a bonny, bonny lass, stole her heart along the Chesapeake Bay. The Chesapeake Bay. For my friend Lois. Hope to see you again soon, Lois. And miss all you guys up there around Levittown or so, where I typically see you. I have an anniversary request. A very nice lady, the Gilloleys or Gilloleys, I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that, but I often see, or nearly every time, when I'm at the Haverford Friends Meeting House concert series, the coffee house that they have there at that beautiful historic Friends Meeting House right there on Eagle Road in Havertown, Pennsylvania. They always, Nancy always asks me for this song, and she asked me to sing it as an anniversary gift for her and her husband, John. And I'm going to do that as soon as I get this thing in tune, which I'm trying to get done quick. It's pretty close. Almost. Just a second. Okay, so Nancy and John, this song is for you, and I look forward to seeing you too. And thanks for coming to see me so often when I've been in your corner of the world over there in Delaware County. And it's a song that was written by Randy Sparks. Not sure you are welcome, Lois. A song written by Randy Sparks from the New Christy Minstrels back in the 1960s. Randy Sparks is still out there making great music, and he travels with 2 or 3, depends on the show and where they are, 2 or 3 original members of the New Christy Minstrels. And I actually wanted to get in that group a million years ago. I was up in Canada, Sudbury, Ontario, at my mother's parents' house, and they had like a touring group of the Christy Minstrels. They're all young folks, none of the original members, but it was more or less a tribute band to the Christy Minstrels. And I thought, I want to be a part of that. And they were way out there in Los Angeles, and I was growing up in this little town in Florida. It didn't work out, but my mother suggested that a group that might be sort of similar at the time, called Up With People, I should maybe audition for them, which I did. And they accepted me, and I was the acoustic guitar player and the token banjo player of the band for the year when I traveled back in 1985 to 86. And after that was done, I actually auditioned for the Christy Minstrels, and they flew me out to Los Angeles, to Beverly Hills. And Sid Garris was the guy who owned the group at that time. I didn't make it. son of Charlie Pride got the spot that I was trying for. Oh well. But you know what? It's okay, because I went back to Florida and everything is great. If I'd grown up in California, you know, from there on, I don't know if I'd be the same guy I am today. So some things work out for the better. I'd rather live East Coast than West Coast. No offense to all those people on the West Coast, but I'm more of a laid back East Coast kind of guy. So song called Today. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. Million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I'll be your dandy, and I'll be your rover. You'll know who I am by the songs that I sing. I'll feast at your table, I'll sleep in your clover. Who cares what tomorrow shall bring? Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. Billion tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. I can't be contented with yesterday's glories. I can't live on promises winter to spring. Today's my moment, now is my story. I'll laugh and I'll cry and I'll sing. Today, while the blossoms still cling to the vine, I'll taste your strawberries, I'll drink your sweet wine. Million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. Million tomorrows shall all pass away, ere I forget all the joy that is mine today. So that was for Nancy and John. Happy anniversary to you guys. I'm going to sing you another Scottish song right now. It takes us to July 27th, 1689. And it takes us up to the Highlands of Scotland, a place called Killiecrankie. And several months before that, James VII of Scotland, II of England, abdicated the throne when his nephew and son-in-law, William of Orange, landed in the south and west of England with a big Protestant army. And they were going to take this Catholic king, the last Catholic king of Great Britain, by the way, off of the throne. And they were invited by these 7 folks, a bunch of noblemen and a bishop, to get rid of James. And because England was changing, becoming very much more of a Protestant country in the Reformation, and James was very much a Catholic and didn't want to change and was kind of belligerent in that way. He was not the politician that his brother, Charles II, was. This guy's son. James was also this guy's son. Charles II was an excellent politician. He could always play both sides to his advantage and play both sides against each other as it suited him. And he was one of the few Stuart kings to die in his own bed. King. James was not so lucky. He was going to die several years later in exile in France. But many people rose for him, especially the Highlanders, who didn't trust a Dutchman sitting on the British throne, and they especially they had at the time, many of them, a soft spot in their heart for any Stuarts, as the Stuarts were a very old Scottish royal family. And a fellow named John Graham of Claverhouse, Bonnie Dundee, rose for him, and he wasn't going to accept the fact that this what do they call it? The Convention of Estates had chose William over James. So he rose with his Highlanders, and he only lived through one battle, and that was the Battle of Killiecrankie. But he was beloved by his men, and when he died from a shot underneath his arm, which pierced his chest and he passed, that was more or less it for the Highland Rising of that year. This song was written by the great Sir Walter Scott. The song is called Bonnie Dundee. Say the lairds of conventions once will labour house spoke. There the king's crown goes down, there'll be crowns may be broke. Then let each cavalier who loves honour and fee follow the bonnets of Bonnie Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, saddle my horses and polish my men. Unhook the Westport and let us get free, for it's up with the bonnets of Bonnie Dundee. Dundee is mounted, he rides up the street. The bells they ring backward, the drums they are beat. But the province to stand, says he, let him be. The tune is well read to the heel of Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, saddle my horses, polish my men, unhook the Westport, and let us get free, for it's up with the bonnets of Bonnie Dundee. There are hills beyond Pentland and lands beyond Forth. If there are chiefs in the north, there are chiefs in the south, there are chiefs in the north. There are brave duty wassels 3,000 times 3 who cry high for the bonnets of Bonnie Dundee. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, saddle my horses, polish my men, unhook the Westport, and let us get free, for it's up with the bonnets of Bonnie Dundee. Tay the hills, tay the lee, tay the rocks. Where I go, a usurper, I'll couch me the box. Then tremble falsely in the midst of your glee. Yet ain't no seen the last of my bonnets and me. Come fill up my cup, come fill up my can, saddle my horses, polish my men, unhook the Westport, and let us get free. For it's up with the bonnets of Bonnie Dundee. The Bonnets of Bonnie Dundee, written by the great Sir Walter Scott. Jude, thank you for sending some money to your local, or food or whatever. I couldn't quite read it quickly there. Food to your local food bank. And that's a reminder for me to ask if you folks have it in your schedule and in your heart to give to your local food bank this Thanksgiving. I would so appreciate it, as well as all the good folks from the Haverford Friends Meeting House. They're the ones who are sponsoring this concert, and that's all they ask is that you might do that. Here's a song that I saw someone flash up on the screen a moment ago. I actually got a whole list of songs that I have, but I'll do one more request here and then do a few more. But it's one that I do love, called Lord of the Dance. And it's actually based on a very old American hymn that the Shakers, which the Shakers were a Messianic sect that existed in New England, second half of the 18th century. And they sang a song that went, "'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to come down where we ought to be. But when we find ourselves in the place just right, we'll be in the land of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bend, we won't be ashamed, but turn will be our delight. By turning we come out right. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all wherever you may be. And I lead you all in the dance, said he. Well, I danced on the morning when the world was begun, and I danced on the moon, on the stars and the sun. I came down from heaven, and I danced on earth. In Bethlehem, I had my birth. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all wherever you may be, and I lead you all in the dance, said he. Well, I danced for the scribes and the Pharisees. They wouldn't dance, they would not follow me. I danced for the fishermen, James and John, they came with me, and the dance went on. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all wherever you may be. And I lead you all in the dance, said he. Now I danced on the Sabbath, I cured the lame. The holy people, they said it was a shame. They cut me and they stripped me, they hung me high, and left me there on a cross to die. Dance, dance, wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, and I lead you all wherever you may be. And I lead you all in the dance, Now they cut me down, but I leapt up high. I am the life, and I'll never, ever die. I live in you, if you live in me, for I am the Lord of the dance, 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 wherever you may be. I am the Lord of the dance, said he, and I lead you all wherever you may be. And I lead you all in the dance, said he. I lead you all in the dance, said he. The Lord of the dance, for whoever asked for that song. I'm going to sing an old sea chanty for you folks right now. The song takes us back to the mid-19th century. Many of you Stan Rogers fans might remember Stan Rogers singing this song with his great band. It's a song that takes us to the Pacific now, kind of to the near Alaska, near the Kamchatka Peninsula of Russia. And it's an old whaling song. I'm 110% against whaling, absolutely. Back in the old days, though, it was a way of life. It kept the lamps burning brightly on the East Coast and all over Britain and so forth and so on. And a lot of songs have to do with that. And this one is called Rolling Down to Old Maui. It's a darn tough life full of toil and strife we whaler men undergo, and we don't give a hang where ere the day is done, how hard the winds did blow. 'Cause we're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, and the good ship taut and free. And we don't give a hang when we drink our rum, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale towards our island home. Our mainmast sprung, our whaling done, and we ain't got far to roam. 6 hellish months we passed away on the cold Kamchatka Sea. Out now we're bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Once more we sail with a northerly gale through the ice and wind and rain. Them coconut fronds, them tropical lands, we soon will see again. Our stunsel bones are carried away, what care we for that sound? A living gale is after us, thank God we're homeward bound. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. How soft the breeze through the island trees, now the ice is far astern. Them native maids, them tropical glades are awaiting our return. Even now their big brown eyes look out, hoping some fine day to see our baggy sails running for the gales, rolling down to old Maui. Rolling down to old Maui, me boys, rolling down to old Maui. We're homeward bound from the Arctic ground, rolling down to old Maui. Good old song called Rolling Down to Old Maui. I hope you guys are having a good time. I'm going to sing a few more songs for you, and then I'm going to give Molly back her evening. She's been so kind to host this on behalf of the friends at the old Haverford Meeting House. Miss you guys, love you guys. We're going to get through this thing, and hope to see you all soon. As a reminder, this is the last time I'll probably bring this up, but if you can, if you have the time and the room in your heart to give to your local food shelter, especially during these difficult days, to help those who are food challenged, and they're everywhere. They're not just in the poor areas anymore. They're everywhere because of these terrible last 8 months or so, which have been crushing to a lot of different families. That's why I'm doing this, and I hope that's what you might do on your end. So there's that. A song that I saw Outlander mentioned a couple of times here. It kind of pops up. I see, because I'm, quote, a co-host of this meeting, I see all the notes. I'm trying not to read them because, as you can imagine, when you're trying to remember all these songs and these things pop up, although I'm really glad you guys are saying hi and hopefully you're having a good time. But I saw that mentioned a couple of times. I'm going to sing a song that is not the theme from Outlander, but it's the more original song, a song called the Skyboat Song. And what you hear on Outlander is Robert Louis Stevenson's rewrite of that old song, which has to do with Bonnie Prince Charlie. I can't do a show without a Jacobite song. By the way, for those of you who know, this is a bravado medal that I'm wearing right now, which was struck by Charles and his followers to try to raise money after the Battle of Culloden and everything kind of fell apart in April of 1746, all the way until September, when he got out of Scotland barely with his life. He never would see Scotland again. But 4 years later, he went to England, they say, to try to see if there's any hope for a Stuart restoration, which there was not. A song called the Skyway Song. Speed, bonny bow, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad who was born to be king over the sea to sky. Many's the lad fall on that day when the claymore wheeled. But when the night came, silently laid on Culloden's field. Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad who was born to be king over the sea to sky. Though the waves lead, soft shall ye sleep, ocean's a royal bed. Rocked in the deep, Flora will keep watch for your weary head. Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad who's born to be king over the sea to sky. Burned are our homes, exile and death, scattered the loyal men. Yet ere the sword cool in the sheath, Charlie will come again. Speed, bonny boat, like a bird on the wing, onward the sailors cry. Carry the lad to be king over the sea to sky. 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 Benjamin, I saw your note flash up there a second. I can't tell you how many folks I've met over the years who have an ancestor who helped the Bonnie Prince in his hour of need from April 16th when Culloden was lost and he was led off the back of the field all the way until September 18th when he was picked up on a ship, a French ship, bound for France. And he left the Highlands, and the Highlands were to change and change utterly by the work of the Butcher Cumberland, the Duke of Cumberland, the king's son. And Charlie never came back. And the Highland clearances began shortly after that. Very dark and difficult chapter began for the Highlands. more or less began when Charles landed, most regrettably. Sing a couple more songs for you good folks. This song is it's called The Coal Town Road, and it's a song from Cape Breton once more, written by Alistair MacGillivray. Alistair MacGillivray is a wonderful songwriter, and I love this song because it sounds like a sea chanty, but it's not. It's about mining. And when you think of Nova Scotia and you think of Cape Breton, you probably think of beautiful coastlines and ships and fisher boats and things like that. And that is all true. But for a long, long time, for over 250 years, mining, especially coal mining, was a big part of the economy. Now there are no big mines open, still operating in Nova Scotia, Canada. What I love about mining songs, that my mother's dad, my grandfather, was a nickel and copper miner in Sudbury, Ontario. I mentioned Sudbury a little while ago. And he worked in the big nickel mine and for all of his adult life. And he would tell my brother and me when we would visit what it's like to be a miner way down there. You leave everything. You go down these cages and you don't see the sun until they bring you right back up again. So the song is called The Coal Town Road. Well, we get up in the black down the coal town road, and we hike along the track where the coal train loads. And we make the ponies pull till we nearly break their backs, and they'll never see the sun down the coal town road. We hear the whistle call down the coal town road, and we grab our towels and ball where the coal train loads. In the cages then we drop till there's nowhere else to fall, and we leave the world behind us down the coal town road. There's miners' little sons down the coal town road, playing with their cowboy guns where the coal trains load. But they better make the best of their childhood while it runs. There's a pick and shovel waiting down the coal town road. There is a God for us down the coal town road, and all the miners he can bless where the coal trains load. For we're sweating down the hole, sucking down that devil's dust, just to keep the fires a-blazing down the coal town road. We hear the whistle call down the coal town road, and we grab our towels and all where the coal trains load. In the cages then we drop till there's nowhere else to fall, and we leave the world behind us down the coal town road. In the cages then we drop till there's nowhere else to fall, and we leave the world behind us down the coal town road. The Coal Town Road. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to leave you with a song that I wrote about Cape Breton. So many years ago, the Scots on my mother's side of the family came to Nova Scotia first, and her ancestors moved to Ontario. But I love Nova Scotia, have very distant relatives there, and haven't been up there in a few years, but I must go back. And I wrote this song years ago when I visited and fell in love with the place for the very first time. So Molly, I would like to thank you for hosting this event, for giving me a holler and inviting me to be a part of Old Haverford Friends Meeting, even though we're all kind of in our living rooms all over the world really right now. And I want to wish you and everybody at the Old Haverford Friends a very blessed Thanksgiving, and we look forward to a better 2021. I don't even know where 2020 is gone. It seems like it's just been one kind of long day. So for all of you who've joined, thank you very, very much. For all of you who have or will be giving to your local food shelter, food banks, thank you. And I wish you all the very best. And I look forward to seeing you again on the other side of all this. But I'll leave you with a song that I wrote. We started with a Cape Breton song. We'll finish up with a Cape Breton song. This one is simply called Cape Breton. Last night I was dreaming of the land my fathers in the twilight of my memory, where our mountains meet, or ever so sweet as the mist rolling in o'er the sea, where the wind sings its chorus through forest and glen, and the lassies greet you with a smile. It's there I could stray for a while, where the pipes greet the morning, this Cape Breton isle. She's the star of the ocean, my heart's own delight. From the cold winds of Horseshoe to the Seal Island light, she's a lady that beckons me all through the night. Cape Breton, my sweet island home. My granddaddy walked the Neil's harbor boatman, proud of the bark he sailed in, and the forest of masts with the rigging held fast as the bay came to line through the wind. Yes, and oh, how I wish I could see them again. Oh, the life is time, all in the fish and the line. The catch of Cape Breton, bounty so fine. She's the star of the ocean, my heart's own delight. From the cold winds of Horseshoe to the Seal Island light, she's a lady that beckons me all through the night. Cape Breton, my sweet island home. Now the years have gone by, so quickly they fly, and I'm far from my home country. Though I've traveled all over, from the white cliffs of Dover to the blue of the far China Sea, sure I'd give all I own just to be on the Myra and fish with the old boys at dawn. For it's there that the friendships live on, the fairest green island that I've ever known. She's the star of the ocean, my heart's own delight. From the cold winds of Horseshoe to the Seal Island light, she's a lady that beckons me all through the night. Cape Breton, my sweet island home. She's the star of the ocean, my heart's own delight. From the cold winds of Horseshoe to the Seal Island light, she's a lady that beckons me all through the night. Cape Breton, my sweet island home. Cape Breton, my sweet island home. Cape Breton, my sweet island home. Thanks so much, everybody, and God bless. Thank you, Mom.
Thank you very much, Charlie. It was wonderful to have you as always. And thank you to everybody for being here and for sharing your stories in the chat, for donating. And I hope you all have a safe and wonderful rest of the weekend. Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye now.